Our first speaker of the day wants to discuss the perhaps uncomfortable reality of dealing with a minimally supported design system. She's a design system lead for the design system at TELUS Digital, where she's focused on enabling teams by improving tools and processes through collaboration and communication. She is also a member of the Design Tokens W3C community group, exploring opportunities to standardize design tokens. Here to discuss resilient design systems for resilient people, please help me welcome Donna Vitan.
Hello from Toronto, Canada. I'm Donna Vitan and my pronouns are she and her. I'm the design lead for the design systems for TELUS Digital, and I want to share my personal journey in building resilient design systems for people. I want to start with the fact that I'm super excited to be part of this year's Clarity Conference, and I want to thank Gina and the Clarity team for helping me manifest this special highlight. This is a photo of me pointing to a tweet at last year's Clarity Conference manifesting this talk. So if you're looking for a sign to get started, to share your ideas and get out of your comfort zone, this is it. Say yes to opportunities when they present themselves. These days, it can feel overwhelming with everything changing so quickly, especially when the whole world is experiencing a panini. Change has offered me many opportunities for growth and getting to do things I've only imagined, like speaking at a huge conference like this, or building the next evolution of the design system for a huge Canadian technology company like TELUS. Today, I want to share my experience working on that design system and the ongoing evolution of our company's brand vision, technology, organization, and community. While there are so many great resources, courses, and talks that tell you how to get started, build, and maintain a design system, I want to share the personal account of the joys and challenges of working and not working on a design system. I want to go back in time a little bit just to share a little history on our TELUS design system. Some of you may have experienced similar evolutions, and for those who are just getting started, this could be a cautionary tale. When I joined the design system team in TELUS Digital as a visual and interaction designer in 2018, the TELUS design system, also known as TDS, had officially launched version 1 at the beginning of the year. Version 1 was a consolidated and stable component library built with React for Web. We used Sketch and Envision DSM as supporting design tools and Style Guidist for our documentation website. Version 2 was released a few months later after feedback from early adopters. We split TDS into individually versioned components, which allowed for a more streamlined upgrade path. Before the end of the year, we launched TDS Community as a way to empower our consuming teams and enable contributions to build a flexible and scalable design system. We had a separate GitHub repo for contributed components. We had an open governance model facilitated by the digital platform ambassadors, and the DPA is a group of designers and developers from various consuming teams meeting regularly to review designs and publish components. We even gamified contributions by assigning power levels and awarding swag. By the end of 2019, nearly a year after the launch of TDS Community, we interviewed designers, developers, and product owners. In addition, we had a retrospective with the digital platform ambassadors, which confirmed feedback from the interviews. There were lots of opportunity to lean out the community contribution process. And we realized we needed to better empathize with the outcome team contributors' time and needs. Let me see some nods or emojis in the chat if you've had similar feedback with your teams. Contribution is too slow. We need more components. There's confusion around what qualifies as good enough to push to production, and people don't have time to contribute end to end. And we started seeing team-specific component libraries spinning up independently. Teams didn't have time to commit to lengthy review processes. So we listened, researched, and workshopped ideas and solutions. We started 2020 with renewed optimism. We needed to listen, support, and remove the barriers people had with the design system. As members of the core team, we needed to get out of the way of the community contributors so that they can be more creative and independent with greater speed. Speaking of getting out of the way, the panoramic helped speed this up. The pajama forced businesses to pivot, and for some, the shift meant more folks working from home. For our team, it meant getting reassigned to product teams to help support our self-serve e-commerce services. Is it too happy to be reassigned? The design system team shifted to minimal maintenance mode, with our design and tech leads holding down the fort part-time while also supporting their new teams. While the news was disappointing, we understood the business decisions behind the change. At the time, we expected these reassignments to be temporary and to last only a few months. To be honest, I wasn't entirely happy about this reassignment. I love working with and nerding out on design systems. I was volunteering for the design systems community, a growing meetup community with chapters around the world. They're founded by fellow alumni of the TELUS Digital Design System team, Lucy List, Enrico Sacchetti, and Varun Jain. I also joined the Design Tokens W3C community group, founded by K-Lig with co-chairs Gina Ann and Val Head. The group is looking to standardize design tokens for creators, consumers, and vendors. I was in deep. I didn't know if I wanted to continue working on a team if it didn't involve design systems. As a practical optimist, I saw being assigned to the e-commerce team as an opportunity to get first-hand look at being a consumer of the design system. I could help improve the processes from the other side and to design something that directly improved the customer experience. Turns out, joining the e-commerce team was an incredible learning experience. The team was super supportive and amazing, and there was plenty of systems thinking work. I collaborated closely with the design team, April and Trevor, to help create and improve our product-specific design components and patterns. We stood up our own product-specific component sketch library, changed the way we managed content, and worked with our devs to componentize existing designs. I have no doubt I would have been happy to stay with a team like that. When you work with great people, everything feels better. In some ways, not having an active design system team showcased how successful and resilient our design system was. Having a comprehensive and well-documented design system allowed folks new and existing to self-serve and quickly stand up new designs. It also highlighted how important community processes, rituals, and relationships built through the digital platform ambassadors would sustain us throughout the whole Panna Cotta. The DPA continued to meet weekly to review designs and pull requests. People helped answer questions in our Slack support channels. Questions about brand and accessibility were funneled to their respective support office hours. It was a challenge for sure, but going through all that gave us a better understanding of how important our ways of working, our culture, our developer and designer communities of practice all supported each other beyond the design system. I'm reminded of a talk at last year's Clarity Conference by Natalia and Tim Shelbourne, Design Systems, or How I Learned to Stop Fighting and Love the Team. And another talk earlier this year at Config 2021 by Aurora Pleguezello, Senior Systems Designer at GitHub. We should be replaceable. How can we build timeless design systems? The shared themes I got from these talks were around letting go of ego as members of the core design systems team. We're not rock stars or heroes, we're stewards of the design system. While we didn't intend to, we did become blockers, bottlenecks, and gatekeepers. In some ways, we veered a little far from our company's mission statement to enable customers and team members to do what they want to do easily. Stepping away gave me a chance to take a breath and get clarity. Last year was wild. It felt like time both stopped and sped up at the same time. It felt like nothing and everything happened all at once. And nearly a year would pass before we'd get the opportunity to return to the design system team. Most of my former teammates have settled into their new teams or moved on. While design systems is my jam, I had reservations about rejoining the team. I had some really deep discussions with my partner, mentors, and friends about what kind of work I found meaningful and being intentional about my career growth. Well, I'm here. I'm talking about this with you. I did rejoin the design systems team, and what helped me decide, and I can hear the echoes in my head, was a chat I had with my director, Emily. She told me not to worry about what others expected of me, to think about what I wanted for myself. Because if we're clear about what motivates us, it can help us prioritize what we do with the time we have. Getting back into the design system team wasn't as simple as picking up where we left off. There's definitely a lot of opportunity in following that game plan, but things have changed since then. New projects that are design system adjacent have sprung up. The design system as we knew it was going through foundational and overwhelming changes. We're talking brand redesign, different technology and framework, and migrating not one, but two design tools into one. Each of these projects initiated by different teams, all converging into the sacred timeline. I mean, design system. This was the next level exercise of cross-team collaboration. I want to give a quick thanks to our teammates at Nearform for being essential partners in this work. Shout out to Jiri, our senior program manager, for managing expectations and being a pillar of stability and control when everything seems to be in a state of go, go, go. And thank you to Laurel, my manager, for being supportive and encouraging of trying new things. So we've got all these things changing at the same time, and somehow they got to come together to make our new design system. To start, the TELUS brand vision is evolving with updates to our brand promise and tagline, integrating our purpose and refreshing our visual identity. This includes a change in tone, colors, photography, backgrounds, and typography. Our colors are changing with more accessible options and gradients. Photography will be more authentic and natural, detailed and less airbrushed. And a new font. Similar look with more flexibility, more roundness to some letters and glyphs. Another initiative was also underway, exploring a change in technologies and hoping to replicate the benefits and success of the existing TELUS design system on a larger scale. TDS truly proved itself these past few years, but it only served web components for a single brand. And the greater TELUS organization is a technology company with many systems, services, applications, and many brands and products. Our technology evolution needs to be ambitious and future forward. Our new design system is brand agnostic, multi-platform, and built with React Native and design tokens. The Universal Design System will help create other design systems using themable, reusable, and multi-platform components. Side note, we're inspired and heavily influenced by Danny Banks and his work on design tokens with Style Dictionary. I'm hoping this meets his call to action from last year's Clarity Conference to see more multi-platform design systems. We're also in the midst of transitioning from Sketch and Envision DSM to Figma. For a long time, our design community yearned to work collaboratively and transparently, only limited by the tools we had. Most of us have used Figma for just a few months, others a little bit longer, and even though it takes some getting used to, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Being able to have our design files and prototypes in a single place, explore and see what others are working on, and collaborate on a whole new level is legendary. Figma definitely sparks joy. All this change is exciting, and it's easy to get caught up in everything that's new when things are moving fast. But I wanted to make sure we're doing things right. I reached out to Neil McGann, a former manager of the TELUS Design System version 1. While he's now far removed from the design system work, I asked him about his experience and if he had any advice for me and the design system team today. He shared that one of the biggest lessons they learned was focusing on helping teams. Helping consumers work efficiently by creating something that didn't encumber the team to adopt. And I took that to heart. With everything that's going on, it doesn't make sense to drop a big change, let alone multiple massive changes on our consumers without solving for their needs. And if there's anything we've learned from our community from the past year, is that collaboration and transparency are keys to making it all work out. There's still a lot of work to do, and it's important to bring everyone along the journey. Thank you for following me along this wild ride that was 16 months of March. Thank you for following me, working, not working, and working again on design systems. And if there were lessons to take away, I hope you keep these in mind. Live, love, laugh. That's not right. Let's try again. Listen to your consumers and help them with their needs. And if you're looking for ways to improve your design system, your flows, your ways of working, get it directly from them. Leverage all your communication channels to share news, progress, and open discussions. There's no such thing as over-communicating. If you've shared something and people roll their eyes and groan and complain that they've heard it before, that's good. It means they're now a design system evangelist. And let everyone collaborate. As your design system expands and organization grows and matures, tap that growing community resource. There's a saying I love, many hands make light work. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to make work a little easier, a little lighter for the rest of us. Thank you to everyone who helped build and contribute to the TELUS Design System, our alumni team members, our digital platform ambassadors, and thank you to all our consuming team members for keeping the design system in our community going. Thanks again to Gina, Nessa, Isaac, and the rest of the Clarity team for helping to make this happen, organizing and supporting all levels of learners with this design system conference. And thank you everyone for your time. My name is Donna Vitan. Please enjoy the rest of the conference.
Great talk, Donna. How are you doing?
I'm excited, nervous, happy.
You look very cute. I love this outfit.
Thank you.
Can you back up just a little bit? Let me see the neck jewels. Oh yes, very nice. I love it. Oh, there's a cape. I didn't know that was a cape.
I was inspired by last night's bingo. Such classy ladies.
Oh, I love it. That is so cute. But yes, thanks so much for your talk. I love, I kind of related to a lot to what you were saying about basically building in the resiliency and kind of basically relinquishing that control that we sometimes want to exert on systems. Like I think I mentioned yesterday, but I am a little bit of a control freak, and I've been very much trying to get better and better at like just relinquishing that control to the people I'm trying to empower. So yeah, basically building in that like resiliency into your system, I definitely can resonate. That resonates well with me, and I'm definitely going to try to do better in that sense.
Yes,
I'm sorry. I keep looking at your outfit. It's amazing. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead. We have a lot of questions from the chat I saw. So let me go ahead and get into those and see if I can get as many of them as possible. All right. So the first question that we have is from Kathleen, and she wants to know, what did you learn about your design system when you had to consume it on a squad? Like, did anything end up changing in your system?
So when I joined the digital commerce team, I became part of the consuming team. And at that point, there wasn't a team to really support the design system. So really the first things that we kind of focused on are making sure that we have the latest available components that are on the system itself, because as I went through the designs, there would be questions about like, hey, this component doesn't actually have that variant. And I'm like, but it should. Like, I know because I helped build it. So then it's like, oh, okay, because we don't have the latest one. So those kind of came up, as well as really finding opportunities where it was very team specific or product specific, but really could be available as a core component to other people. So those were the benefits really of being part of a consuming team.
Okay, I can see that. I've only ever worked on systems where I was both the creator and the consumer at the same time. So I feel like in that sense, I never really was able to see all the blind spots because I was making it as I was using it. I think it would be really like a great, really a cool like exercise to actually completely remove myself from the creation process and just use it for a while so I can actually see how well it serves the needs. Like I think that's a pretty cool thing.
One of the other things that was really great about working in that team was also like telling the team, like empowering them, like this is how you can change it. This is how, like, if you wanted to make that, like this is how you would do it. Because I feel like as that outcome team, you might be like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work, like I don't know what to do kind of thing. And it's like showing them like this is the path to do that, and it's not scary.
Yeah, definitely. So Christy wants to know, how big is the team now?
Well, we have partners with Nearform right now, so they help there as we're growing the new design system. There's about like 6 from them, and right now we have 2 new developers join this side of our team. So I'm very excited about that. I mean, it's not as big as we were previously, especially now that we're like trying to solve a bigger challenge. But yeah, there's definitely room to grow.
Okay. Liz would like to know, how do you track versioning when you're designing and implementing like new or updated components? So if a component is updated in the design assets, how do you denote those designs need to be updated in the code base?
Yeah, so we rely on code being the source of truth. And so when they have an update, we try to follow their versioning. Now in Figma or previously in Sketch, we don't have like a version 1.1 be equal to, version 1.1 in code, because there are just too many differences. But we try to release those updates together, and we never just do like, here's a design update or here's a code update if there are big changes together.
Okay.
So
cool. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So Henry would like to know, how do people get resources for design overhauls? Like what's needed to get the validation for that?
Yeah, that is a big question. Originally, I imagine like it's not always a top-down kind of audit. It's usually like instigated by maybe the brand team or maybe like your design practice. Be like, hey, these are all different layouts or designs that are happening in different product teams, and how do you get started with that? And usually you have to start small. You have to start with like, look at one thing, like maybe we're looking at the different carousels like that exist all across the website, and then take that as an example and then propose it to your leadership. Be like, these are the reasons why we're having like either inaccessible experiences across those carousels, or maybe like you're trying to bring up what the challenge is and then see how it's affecting multiple products. And then that way you're saying like, if we solve for this, you're helping solve these things. And then that larger audit is like a big challenge that you need to plan for, because it can take a long time, not only doing the audit, but actually implementing changes with those product teams. Because by the time you finish that audit, it could already be 6 months and your product team has already moved on and updated their product. And that's not going to help anybody. So sometimes you have to take specific things or maybe one small thing across the board.
Okay. Let's see, the next question here is from Kathleen again, and she wanted to know, what challenges did you encounter when you were migrating two design tools into one?
It was a long transition. Originally, we kind of did a pilot. We're not a pilot. We like trialed other things. So there was a group that was already using Figma, and then they're like saying, hey, maybe you should really use this because it's really opening up collaboration. And Sketch being like our primary tool, we're like, well, it's going to take a long time for us to transition, so we better be sure like this is the tool we want to use. And like, I love Sketch. I really wanted to like work with it. I made the proposal like we should stay with Sketch because it does this and they have teams now and that kind of stuff. But ultimately, because we had different teams and different groups kind of trying out all these tools, it was a matter of like, it had more benefits to use Figma than it is to, stay where we were.
Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Okay, so our next question here would be from, oh, I lost it just now. So the next question here is from Will. Will would like to know, what's been your experience working with marketing and brand teams on your design system?
So I think for us, in a big organization like us, brand is usually like a different entire organization or a different team, and they kind of they change their brand. They have a lot of say on what our brand is. And once it gets into our design system, it's more like, how do we consume that and then apply it for everybody else in our web experience? And now like we're exploring our cross-platform experience. And for as long as we capture what the brand essence is, we have some freedom of like, hey, we don't have enough grays, but here's like a few grays that we want. And so there is like a review, be like, hey, these are the things we need in our experience. You're okay with it? Or do you want to like maybe change it to more a shade of a blue kind of thing? But for the most part, our experience has been really positive because they're very open to like what our platform needs are, what like our product needs are.
Okay, yeah, that kind of reminds me of this this idea that I've been going around internally at Slack with, where I've been kind of, our brand team is a separate team for our visual design team who works on the design system, and our product team who works on the product design system. And I was like, shouldn't the brand team should be like this like umbrella like system or umbrella like design token level type thing that we both consume, that both design systems consume, and then we both kind of create a system that works inside of our workflow infrastructure and needs in that sense. So it kind of sounds like similarly that's what you were talking about, where like you are a consumer of the brand's deliverables and then you distill those out to your consumers.
Yeah, I mean, that's also we're the gateway to being like making sure that our product teams have the right tone, have the right colors, have the right like, open space so that it feels open and inviting.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see. I have time for one more question here. Let's see. Someone wanted to know, how did your team approach adoption of the system into your products? Was it an iterative process, or was it like org level roadmap type thing?
Yeah, so the TELUS design system has been in play before I joined. And so they had more of the challenge about adoption. And originally, from the history that I understand, is one of the developers, I believe Laura, she was really just capturing the reusable code. Like she wanted to keep using it, and so she just captured it and then kind of shared it with other people. So that was really like how you get started, like just one thing and then you're sharing with other people. And when it got bigger, it was more of a leadership push. It was at that point, like, TELUS Digital is actually a smaller part of TELUS, the organization, and TELUS Digital was about like the digital transformation of TELUS, which is primarily people know as a telecom, but it actually is a technology company. And so TELUS Digital was acting like a startup. And with that startup mentality, they were very focused on delivering like a design-centric, a very technology-centric kind of culture. And that meant focusing on design and design systems to really speed up and scale and enable our teams. So from that perspective, there was a lot of executive leadership push for that to be adopted with our teams.
Okay. Yeah, great. Oh, cool. So, thank you so much, Donna. That's all the time we have for questions right now. But yeah, it was really lovely talking to you. And again, you look amazing. Thanks so much. And I will go ahead and transition over to Henri, who is going to have a little bit of a break and talk a bit more about prizes and things. So I will see you all after our next talk.